Republican Senator Rick Scott, the chairman of the National Republican Senatorial Committee, the fundraising arm of the Senate Republicans, still hasn't answered the tough questions about where the hell all that Republican money went. And so during an appearance on Fox News this week, he was directly called out by Fox News host Martha MacCallum, who asked him point blank, where the heck is the money? And as you're about to see in his response, Rick Scott really couldn't offer any kind of solid information about where more than $100 million has disappeared to. Take a look.
How a record cash haul vanished for Senate Republicans. It says by the end of July, the National Republican Senatorial Committee had collected a record $181.5 million, but had already spent 95% of it. Then it goes to August, where you have just $23 million left. That is less than half of what the Democratic Senatorial Committee has, ahead of the really intense stage of this whole race that we're now heading into. How did that happen? Where did all that money go?
Well, we did the right thing. We spent early. I mean, here's the problem with campaigns. If you wait until the last month, I mean, there's too much static, there's too much noise out there. So what we did, as soon as our candidates got through their primaries, we started helping them. We put up ads with them to talk about what they believed in, and we started early on, we started defining the Democrats. That's put us in a position right now that we not only can keep our 50 Republican seats, but we also can pick up probably as many, doesn't mean we'll get that many, but we got 6 competitive seats where the Democrats, all the Democrats in our competitive seats are underwater. They're under 50% on their fave.
But Senator, you see a lot of these races that are tightening up in Florida, in Ohio, and these candidates are in need of money at this point. So some of them are pointing fingers at your leadership and saying that it's not working. What do you say to them?
Well, let's look at the numbers. You know, we're going to keep our hardest races to keep. Ron Johnson's going to win. We invested with him early.
He's behind by about 5 points right now, right?
Yeah. So Ron Johnson.
Now, the thing that stuck out to me most about that clip, aside from, of course, Rick Scott fumbling through and looking scared most of the time, was the body language, the facial expressions of Martha MacCallum herself. Because you go back and you watch that clip again, watch her face. Because she looks like, she's kind of making those faces like, really? You expect me to believe this? You kind of sound like you're lying. Oh, now you are lying about the poll numbers. And of course, she pointed that out like, those people you're talking about, they're actually losing pretty badly, like embarrassingly badly. So you can talk all you want, Rick Scott, about, well, we spent some of the money here. We spent a little early, which is what you do. She's like, yeah, but none of the money worked. You kind of wasted it all. And you're the guy in charge. So, of course, she brings up, like, they're kind of questioning your leadership. And he's just like, yeah. That probably is the best part. Where she's like, they're questioning your leadership. Yeah. Yeah, they are. Because when the questions first emerged about where the hell the money went, Rick, what did you do? You didn't stay there. You didn't provide itemized receipts to the Republicans. What you did was you absconded. You literally fled the damn country to go sit on a luxury yacht off the coast of Italy for a couple weeks. Really not a good look when everybody's like, hey, Rick, we're missing $100 million. Have you seen it? Nope. But hey, I got to get over to Italy to my luxury yacht. Good luck finding your $100 million that is missing. Again, I always preface this. I'm not saying Rick Scott stole the money. I don't think Rick Scott stole the money. That's a bit much even for the man whose company committed the biggest Medicare fraud in history, right? I mean, we shouldn't assume that there was anything bad happening. Plus, the guy's worth a couple $100 million. He doesn't need to take money from the RNC. That's pretty obvious. I do believe that he's bad with money. I do believe that he just blew it. I mean, look, we can look at some of the things they installed a new digital team spearheaded by Trump veterans, because we all know how great they were at campaigning. He greenlit an enormous wave of spending on digital ads, not to promote candidates, but to discover more small money donors. So He took the money they had already raised and said, okay, instead of using it to make ads, what if we doubled down with the money, right? What if we used the money to go find more people to give us more money? And then that's what he did. And then they couldn't find people to give them more money. So they spent the money looking for people that didn't exist instead of spending the money on ads. So you wasted it. You're bad with money. That's bad leadership. And of course, Rick Scott is out there trashing Mitch McConnell, calling for McConnell basically to be ousted from his leadership position because Rick Scott wants it. But I don't ever remember Mitch McConnell blowing if they had 191 million and now they got 23 million. So I don't ever recall Mitch McConnell blowing $168 million of Republican money just simply trying to find more money. No, kind of sounds like Rick Scott is the poor leader right now. But you know what? He's exactly the kind of leader that the Republican Party deserves. Hey everyone, this is Aspen. And did you know that for the low cost of $0 per day, you can subscribe to the Fair and Balanced YouTube channel? We also encourage you to like, comment, and share. But again, click that subscribe button and help Aspen not be so grumpy.